What's up guys, my name is Ace, and yesterday on the official Call of Duty Middle East account, they uploaded this short video that shows us a bunch of things that we haven't seen yet, including a bunch of short first-person clips showing off actual multiplayer gameplay. And they have since taken it down, so I don't know if there was miscommunication and they uploaded this early or something. But of course, people did record it, and since it did come from an official source, I feel comfortable sharing it here. So we're going to be going through all of these clips, including a bunch of actual first-person multiplayer gameplay clips that will give us a bit of an indication of some of the things we can expect to see with this game. Now, honestly, for me, the first thing that really caught my eye while watching this was the fact that they showed off the Gunsmith screen, at least briefly, keeping in mind this is based on an early build of the game and not necessarily fully complete, but it at least gives us an indication of what this is likely going to look like. And so let's enhance that image a little and take a deeper look. As you can see, the gun here is the Daewoo K2, and we've got the same sort of general gunsmith structure as we've seen in recent years. I'm not surprised that there are no major changes here. It seems people generally like the overall structure of the gunsmith system. So for available attachment slots, we've got the stock, rear grip, ammunition, magazine, apex attachment, which has been confirmed, does not take one of your 5 attachment slots, so you can use that for free. We've then got the underbarrel, muzzle, barrel, I assume lasers toward the top. I'm not 100% sure what that one's going to be called because it's all blurred out. And then on the right-hand side toward the top, that'll be your optic slot. So pretty standard layout there, but a few other things I noticed. Toward the bottom right of the screen, you can see that Gunny system in action. And if you haven't heard yet, Gunny is a system that will automatically create a build for you based on the goals that you're looking for. So you can see there, you can select from a long-range build, a balanced build, or a short-range build. And it will automatically create that setup while also keeping in mind any restrictions that you have. So if you haven't leveled your gun up yet, it will use whatever you currently have unlocked that fits within that role that you've specified. Now, obviously, that's something that I don't see myself using at all because, I mean, a big part of what I do is making sure that I'm fully optimizing every build. And while it's a neat system, I doubt it's going to be quite as optimized as what I'll be doing. But a few other things I noticed here toward the bottom left-hand side of the screen, we've got our basic stats, although it does give us our rate of fire at least, and we can see this gun has a rate of fire of 740 RPM, but then the rest are just stat bars, which, as we all know, can't really be trusted fully to always be like perfectly accurate. Oftentimes it's a combination of multiple characteristics all into one stat bar, and therefore something goes up or down. You don't really know exactly what that's doing to your gun. Either way, a big thing I didn't notice here is an option to go to an advanced stat screen. However, thankfully, content creators that have played the game have confirmed that the advanced stats will be in the game. It is going to be coming to the game for launch, so very happy to see that, and very curious to see what kind of advanced stats we're getting this time around, because Infinity Ward doesn't typically do that, so I'm curious to see if they're going to put their own twist on it, or if they're just going to basically copy what Treyarch has been doing, which I would be totally fine with, because Treyarch does an excellent job with their advanced stats. And then finally, on the bottom left, of course, we do have the firing range option. So this just confirms we will be able to access firing range directly from our Gunsmith screen. Another thing I'm very curious about, though, is to see their firing range. I'm really hoping it's going to be a brand new firing range that we haven't seen before, with maybe like a totally different environment to it, as well as maybe some different looking dummies. But time will have to tell on that one. Next up, before we get into the gameplay clips, we also got this image of Create a Class right here, and we have seen the full Create a Class image that showed off most of what we're seeing here already, but just a couple different things that are shown off here. First off, we've got the DDoS, looks like that's returning from Modern Warfare 2, and that's a field upgrade where when you activate it, it sends out a pulse from your location and can destroy or disrupt enemy equipment and field upgrades, for instance. And then for our kill streaks, it looks like we've got a care package, counter UAV, and sentry turret as far as I can tell there. And with that covered, let's finally get into the actual gameplay clips themselves. And the first one here is actually showing off the Apex attachment on the Oris Razor, or the Q-Fix marksman rifle. And with this, you just have throwing knives attached to the gun itself, so you can perform this really quick throwing action. And that definitely helps clear things up, because just based on the description, it did sound kind of weird that an attachment on a gun was a throwing knife, but there it is. On top of that, it appears we may be seeing the new scavenger packs coming out of the characters as well. And assuming I'm right on that, this is a totally new asset for the scavenger packs, which is nice to see. As for the next clip, this is using the Mosin Nagant, and it's just showing off a slide into ADS, although it looks like the slide was basically completed before the aim down sight began. Either way, little slide into a quickscope there. Then we got a little bit of shotgun action here on Mumbai. And this also appears to be showing off that quick draw mechanic with pistols, which I'm glad to see return. I thought that was a nice thing that they brought to the game with Modern Warfare 2. And we actually see that happen again in the next clip. This time he's using that Daewoo K2 assault rifle. It appears it's a 4-shot kill within that range as far as I can tell based on that. And assuming that's the case, since we know the rate of fire of that gun at 740 rounds per minute, that would give us a time to kill at 243 milliseconds. So a very noticeably faster time to kill for an assault rifle up close compared to something like Black Ops 7. But of course, that is a big assumption that this was actually a 4-shot kill. Since we can't actually count hit markers or anything here, I'm basically just going off of animation timings and firing the shot, so I might be wrong on that. As for the next clip, this one is in the convenience store on Silkworm, and we have what appears to be a heartbeat sensor, at least at first glance. However, taking a deeper look at it, I think this is actually the Apex attachment for the ISO Trace SMG. And they mention in the description for this in one of the blogs that this has special RFID ammunition that transmits a signal back to a built-in optic display on the gun, which lets you track down the victim and finish the job. So I don't think this is a regular heartbeat sensor that will just detect any enemy in the area unless they're using a counter perk. I think you have to actually shoot them first, and then if they get away, this just helps you track them down. And that's a bit of a relief. I was very worried that this would just be a heartbeat sensor that showed everyone off. Next, we have a clip showing the Destructible Riot Shield, which is a field upgrade in the game, and it's showing that you can place this down on the ground as well. And then we're also seeing what appears to be the PPSH. I've been calling it the PPSH. Apparently, it's actually the North Korean M49, which is effectively just a PPSH, but wanted to point that out. And I believe we're likely seeing the Apex attachment on there, which appears to be some sort of an underbarrel with an alternate fire mode. I initially thought maybe underbarrel shotgun, but it is hard to tell for sure. Either way, it does appear to actually ignite that player, or at least it ignites on the ground. So maybe some kind of Dragon's Breath or even like thermite type rounds. In either case, after that, this player pulls out what I assume is a kill streak, and this appears to be a giant belt-fed grenade launcher. We have seen a separate image of this when they were promoting DMZ, and I think it's essentially just this that we're using as a kill streak. But then after that, just another fairly standard kill here using that ISO trace with its Apex attachment optic, and we get to see a reload animation on that as well. Next, we get a clip using the M4 with an excellent optic on it. I really like the shape of that optic. And we also see the new smoke mechanics at play here, at least to a degree. Now, this has been described as smoke similar to what CS2 uses, where things like gunshots or explosions can actually dissipate some of the smoke in the area. And you do get a little bit of an indication of that toward the edge of the smoke, at least, as he's firing his gun. You can see a little hole form on the edge of the smoke there where those bullets have passed through. And while it doesn't appear to be as dramatic as in CS2, it does appear that mechanic is in the game. Then after that, we've got a single action revolver that he pulls out, and that's an excellent animation. I really like that. And then he swaps back for the kill, and we get a nice little reload animation at the end as well. Then in the next clip, we have a barbed wire trap, likely field upgrade if I had to guess. And that looks pretty crazy. The enemy player steps on it, they get trapped in there. I assume that's going to deal a small amount of damage, but more importantly, it's going to lock you in place and make it very difficult to get out of there. Then after that, we have confirmation that the inflatable decoy field upgrade is going to be returning here as well. And it looks like it's pretty much exactly the same as it was in Modern Warfare 2 with maybe a slightly different look to it. Then we get to see some akimbo pistols, I'm assuming. I think it's actually the PM63, so it could even be in the SMG category or it could be in the pistol category. In either case, we definitely get some akimbo gameplay, and very interestingly here, there appears to be very little, if any, slide-to-fire delay on this, at least with this specific gun. And that is a big change from what we had back in Modern Warfare 2. Even with pistols, you couldn't slide and fire this quickly in that game. And that's it. That wraps it up for this video. We got a surprising amount of information in this. Again, I have no idea why they ended up posting this and then taking it down right away, and also why it was only on the Call of Duty Middle East account. But it's nice to see some actual first-person gameplay, even though they are just really short and scripted little clips. It's still nice to see. One thing I did notice, and one of my big concerns up until this point, has been muzzle smoke, and I wasn't noticing any extreme level of muzzle smoke. Obviously, the screen is pretty obstructed by all the text and the guy that's talking there, and also it's a vertical video, so it cuts off all the edges of the screen. But as far as I can tell there, it doesn't appear like muzzle flash and muzzle smoke is going to be a major issue in this game, and that's excellent. So definitely, after seeing this, I'm getting more and more excited for Modern Warfare 4, but of course, I want to hear from you guys in those comments down below. How are you feeling about everything that we saw here in this short video? Does this get you more excited for Modern Warfare 4, or perhaps less excited? Just let me know down below. If you enjoyed the video, a like rating is always appreciated, and don't forget to subscribe for more if you haven't already. I'll talk to you guys next time.